Yahoo is ready for another makeover, more drama and fewer users at MySpace, and Google's voice desktop application is just around the corner, or is it? Hello, welcome to TechCrunch Now. I'm Evelyn Risley. Today is Tuesday, July 6th, and joining us in the studio is Jason Cade. He's a reporter for TechCrunch and the CEO of Zendesk, Mikhail Zvan. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Today the theme is identity crisis. We're specifically talking about MySpace and Yahoo. Let's look at MySpace first. Two reports from TechCrunch today, one out of London talking about how the number of visitors have dropped about 50% in the last 6 months as the headcount continues to go lower and lower. Meanwhile, in the Wall Street Journal, there's more speculation on the future of its search advertising partnerships and what will happen to the fairly successful Fox Audience Network, and in turn what that means for MySpace. What do you guys think? You know, our editor Michael Arrington, he says that MySpace needs to spin off from News Corp if it's ever going to survive and succeed. What do you think, Mikhail?
Well, there's probably a lot of companies that needs to be spun off News Corp to succeed. We talked about this previously. I don't know MySpace. I've never used MySpace. I don't know anybody that uses MySpace. Will it succeed better as a startup or in a startup-like environment?
Well, I think what they really need to do is do something innovative. You know, I think, as you said, as far as like an identity crisis, you ask someone, what do you use MySpace for? And it's sort of like, well, use Facebook for your social networking. And MySpace still has its MySpace music, but I think to more and more, it's just kind of, that's going away as a free service. It's going to see a huge drop in traffic. But I don't think people even see MySpace as a music destination anymore. I think Facebook is sort of eating their lunch in that respect too. You look at Lady Gaga, who's I think just passed like 10 million Facebook fans. You know, what does MySpace offer that Facebook doesn't? If
they don't have music, what do they have?
Beyond me, a bunch of users who are still there because they don't know any better. That might be a little harsh, but I really do think they need to offer something that's compelling and not just like not a Me Too product. They need to definitely improve the user experience. I think that's actually something they did work on a lot, but I just don't see a reason why anyone would go to MySpace at this point.
If you do something, you have to find out what you do and what you do really well, and then it's easier to do a lot more things than that. But they have to identify what they do really, really well, and that's basically what it comes down to.
So when do you think the time of death is going to clock in for MySpace? Ooh. Can we say that?
I don't think it's going to die. I think it's just going to keep fading gradually, and they'll probably have a few blips of something that works fairly well. Maybe they'll pull it off. I mean, I think spinning off the company would be a good move. They'd have less corporate infrastructure, and also to give employees a chance to get stock options, which would help the company attract the best engineers, which is something that's harder to do right now.
And Yahoo has had trouble identifying, what exactly it is, and we saw that disrupt when Carol Bartz was talking to Michael Arrington. And now they say they're going to roll out this new product strategy. What do you think it's going to be, Jason? What does it need to be?
What does it need to be? I think Yahoo needs to answer that question. They need to hone in on a few key areas. What I think their approach is going to be is this sort of kitchen sink approach where they're everything. I think that's the new tagline on their ads, and I think it works fairly well as their homepage. I think I think they still have the top homepage on the web, but offering everything, it's not really a good product tagline.
Is there one thing that you think that they can offer that they can shape their identity around?
I think they're trending more towards offering like content, and maybe entertainment stuff. Frankly, I don't know. They have to figure that out.
Well, what do you think? I'm assuming that you've actually been to Yahoo as opposed to MySpace.
Many years ago. No, so I know people that uses Yahoo Mail, but I also read on this. I read a survey from stats from Mailchimp saying that Yahoo Mail addresses are the addresses with the shortest lifespan, in the world.
Really?
Yeah. So it says a little bit about the audience, I think.
Yeah, and clearly mail is not their feature. What do you think is? What do you think their strength is?
That's a very good question.
Fantasy baseball.
Yeah.
Now, another product from another major giant, Google, is Google Voice and its desktop application. We don't know exactly when it's going to come out and what form it's going to take, whether it's going to be built into the browser or its own separate application. What do you think of Google Voice, Jason?
I think Google Voice is great. I've been using it for a while now. I think it's important to note that it's actually generally available now. It's the desktop application that may or may not ever be released. And I think the reason why that we're hearing is kind of internal politics where Google wants everything to be based on the web.
Yeah.
Of course, there are plenty of Google applications that are not web-based. You got Google Earth, and you got the Casa Photo Manager. So it wouldn't exactly be like their only desktop application.
I think it's fantastic, this paradigm change of like voice and phone calls being like a service. And I don't know, how extensive is their API actually? Can you build your own desktop application if you want to?
I don't think Google Voice has a big, like a substantial API yet. I know there were some Google Voice applications on the iPhone before they got pulled off the App Store a year ago. But I definitely have not seen many desktop Google Voice apps, if many.
Okay, but it's one of these things that we will see more and more, phone services being integrated into other products.
Yeah.
It's fantastic to see how it's suddenly like decoupled from the little devices and the plug in the wall. Now it's just a service out there.
And even though Jason doesn't think so, do you think that they could be a major competitor of Skype?
Yes.